Hello friends, how are you? In this video lecture of thermodynamics, today we will say what is thermodynamics and a definition of thermodynamics and terms involved in thermodynamics. There are different terms, there are different thermodynamical properties, classification of thermodynamical properties. To understand this video, watch this video till the end. अगर पसंद आया तो like it, comment it and share it. So what is thermodynamics? थर्मो यानी हीट. थर्मो का मतलब होता है हीट, डायनामिक एंड मैकेनिकल वर्क. So there is a interconversion between heat and mechanical work, and a conversion of heat into mechanical work and mechanical work into what? Heat. So what a definition? Thermodynamics is the branch of physical chemistry which deals with the study of interconversion of heat into what? Mechanical work, that is motion, and vice versa. This is macroscopic study. A macroscopic study, not a microscopic. There is no study about individual atom. But there is a study of what? Group of atoms. Because this is macroscopic study, this is not a microscopic study. A first drawback. Second drawback, there is no study of time. In this chapter in thermodynamics, study of pressure, volume, temperature, enthalpy, internal energy, etc. All these are thermodynamical properties, but there is no study of time. This is second drawback of thermodynamics. Third, in thermodynamics, there is a study about only initial state and final state. There is no full information about pathway between final state and initial state. So only initial state and final state. Suppose I want to calculate delta T, change in temperature. So what is that formula? It is T2 minus T1. ये T2 क्या है? Temperature of the final state, and ये T1 क्या है? Temperature of the initial state. So in short, thermodynamics is macroscopic study. There is an interconversion between heat and mechanical work. So conversion of heat into mechanical work and vice versa. The meaning of thermo and heat, dynamic and mechanical work. Now, thermodynamical properties are classified into two types. Number one, intensive properties and extensive properties. Intensive properties. And the second one is what? Extensive properties. So first we'll see about what is intensive properties. Intensive properties क्या है? To explain this, if I want to find out density of water, मैंने water लिया. What is the density of water? Suppose I have taken 100 ml water, मैंने 100 ml water लिया. So density of 100 ml water is what? Density is equal to, that is 1 gram per cc. Suppose मैंने 1 लीटर पानी लिया, तो इस 1 लीटर पानी की भी डेंसिटी कितनी होगी? दैट इज एग्जैक्टली 1 ग्राम पर सीसी. है ना? क्वांटिटी बदल रही है. 100 ml इन सेकंड केस दैट इज 1000 ml एंड 1 लीटर. सपोज मैंने 2 लीटर वाटर लिया, क्वांटिटी और बढ़ाई. सो हियर आल्सो डेंसिटी इज इक्वल टू 1 ग्राम पर सीसी एंड डेंसिटी रिमेन्स सेम, isn't? There is a change in quantity, 100 ml, 1000 ml, 2000 ml. ऐसा नहीं कि that density of 100 ml water is 1 gram per cc, इसका 10 times that is a 10 gram per cc. This is wrong. Density of water remains same, यानी it does not depends on quantity. So what is definition of intensive properties? Which properties are said to be intensive properties? Properties which depends on nature but not on quantity of the matter. Is said to be what? Are known as intensive property. are known as intensive properties. Are known as intensive properties. And a properties which depends on only nature, not quantity. Quantity पे depend नहीं होती वो property. उसका parameter does not depends on quantity of the matter. Density does not depends on density of 1 ml water is 1 gram per cc. Density of 10 ml water is 1 gram per cc. Density of 100 ml water is 1 gram cc. यानी it does not depends on quantity. यानी it does not vary with quantity. So it depends on only nature. Example. इसके examples. Density, a refractive index, a refractive index, a refractive index of water. Suppose I have taken 1 ml water, so refractive index of water is 1.33. 1.33. A refractive index of 10 ml water is again 1.33. So there is no change in what? There is no change in that is intensive property. It remains same. It does not depend on quantity of the matter. So refractive index, pressure, again pressure not vary with that is quantity of the matter. Temperature, concentration parameters, that is molarity, normality, molarity, etc. All these are intensive properties. Suppose मैंने हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड सॉल्यूशन 1 मोलर बनाया, that is 1000 ml. I prepared that is 1000 ml 1 मोलर सॉल्यूशन. हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड का 1 मोलर सॉल्यूशन मेरे पास है 1 लीटर है. तो इसकी मोलैरिटी कितनी है? 1 मोलर. इट इज गिवन. मैंने इसको डिवाइड किया, यहाँ पे 500 ml और यहाँ पे 500 ml. Now tell me what is molarity of this 500 ml HCl solution? Exactly, it will be 1 molar. Here also it is 1 molar. Again I divided here, that is 250 ml. Here also that is 250 ml. तो इसकी molarity भी 1 molar होगी. And it remains constant. It does not depend on quantity of the matter. So molarity, normality, molarity ये सब क्या है? Intensive properties है. So which property is said to be intensive property? Property whose parameter depends on what? Only nature but not quantity of the matter. That property is said to be what? Intensive property. Example, density, refractive index, pressure है, temperature है, concentration parameters है, even specific heat also, that is intensive property, isn't it? Second property, extensive property. Property whose parameter depends on quantity of the matter is known as extensive property. See here, properties which depends on quantity of the matter are known as extensive properties. Intensive property में होता क्या है? In case of intensive property, it does not depends on quantity of the matter. It depends on only nature of matter. यहाँ पे quantity matter करती है. इसके examples है mass. See here, 5 kilogram sugar is not equal to 2 kilogram sugar. अगर किसी ने आपको कहा 5 kg is equal to 2 kg, ये गलत है, isn't it? क्योंकि ये क्वांटिटी है. यानी जिस प्रॉपर्टी मास डिपेंड्स ऑन किलोग्राम, मास डिपेंड्स ऑन क्वांटिटी ऑफ द मैटर, तो ये इम्पॉसिबल है, isn't it? सेकंड एग्जांपल, फोर्स है. फोर्स, इसका फार्मूला है मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. ए बी एक्सटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी है, डिपेंड्स ऑन क्वांटिटी. अनदर एग्जांपल, एरिया, isn't it? Area is also extensive property, isn't it? Suppose अगर आपको किसी ने कहा 1 मीटर स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू 2 मीटर स्क्वायर, ये गलत है. दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट, क्योंकि ये क्वांटिटी पे डिपेंड करती है. वॉल्यूम, heat capacity, etc. All these are extensive properties. And parameters of these quantities, parameters of these thermodynamical properties depends on what? Quantity of the matter. Because these are extensive properties. And we know that definition of extensive property, property whose parameter depends on what? Quantity of the matter is said to be what? Extensive property. See here, a ratio of two extensive properties. A ratio of two extensive properties is equal to intensive property. Is equal to intensive property. इसका एग्जाम्पल है मास अपॉन वॉल्यूम. Mass upon volume is equal to what? Density. Is equal to density. Mass a extensive property है. Volume is also extensive property, isn't it? A extensive property, a extensive property, and a ratio of these two. So here density, this is intensive property. This is what? Intensive property. Another example of this, force per unit area. Force per unit area is equal to pressure. Is equal to what? Pressure. Force a extensive property है, area is also extensive property, तो ये pressure क्या है? ये intensive property है. ये क्या है? Intensive property. So what is definition of intensive property? Property whose parameter depends on quantity, does not depend on quantity of the matter. It depends on nature of what matter. That property is said to be what? Intensive property. And in case of extensive property, property whose parameter depends on quantity of the matter, that property is said to be what? Extensive properties. A ratio of two extensive properties is intensive property, isn't it? If any doubt, you can put your doubt in comment box. Definitely I will get back. Thank you.